and today we are talking about a very important topic, which is neck pain and headaches. So this is something that affects actually about 47% of the population. And I would say it's probably higher at one point or another as far as people wake up with a kink in the neck. It's not going to get reported to the doctor or whatever when they go in. It's just something that we tend to accept as a normal part of life, and we have to deal with that. But it's not really a normal part of life, and it's not something that we just have to deal with. So today I'm going to talk about what the cervicogenic headache is and how that affects people and what people can do about it. We'll be talking about this all month, neck pain and headaches. Now, this part of this, what we're going to talk about, comes from a presentation that I did. I used to do before COVID on a regular basis, and it was interesting. The very first time I did this presentation, it was several years ago, and I went into a community center, a senior center, and I volunteered to go in and provide this education for people. And when I showed up, I expected there to be several people, and I had one guy, and he came in, and he tells me, well, I don't really have headaches or neck pain, but I thought that you could probably help me with this, because if you know about that, you could probably help me with this. So I thought that was kind of curious, because I know there's a lot of people with neck pain. I talked with them previously. And so after I educated him, I walked around and I started asking some of the people, and they're like, oh yeah, well, I saw your sign. I have headaches, but I don't have neck pain, so I didn't think it was for me. And then the next person, well, I have neck pain, but I don't have headaches. And so some people had headaches, some people had neck pain, some people had both. And the people who had both just thought that there was nothing that could be done. They thought it was a complete waste of time to even try, because they'd tried so many things in the past and everything had failed for them in the past, so they figured, why bother? So if that's you, headaches or neck pain, or headaches and neck pain, and maybe you've tried a lot of things in the past, maybe you've tried chiropractic, maybe you've tried medicine, maybe you've tried injections, or what I often find is I get people who have tried virtually everything. When we run this in the clinic, we get 20 to 30 people, and I ask people, why are they here? And they say, well, it hurts. I want it to go away, and they're still holding out hope that they can maybe do something about it, which is good, because that keeps them searching. But they've tried virtually everything except therapy, or a lot of them tried therapy, but it was traditional therapy. They're going in for hot packs, and they're going in and getting perhaps electrical stimulation and maybe some gentle treatments. And we do gentle treatments as well, but we just do a lot more hands-on effective treatments that are targeted to that area. So we'll get a group of people, 20 to 30 people pre-COVID, and we would pull a couple patients from that who were willing to give therapy another try, and within a couple months they're seeing a big difference. So why am I interested in headaches and neck pain? First of all, almost everybody gets them at some point, but secondly, I've had migraines and I've had cervicogenic headaches in the past, and they're so terrible, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. These are the types, some of it's just mild, you might get a little pain here or a little pain up in the back of the skull, and sometimes it'll come up over the head, but we can treat all of those. The thing that I'm talking about, though, it tends to start here on the back of the skull, and it works its way up and around, and then it feels like it's just coming right behind one eyeball usually, but it can be both, or right in the front of the forehead. And most people describe it as like a cold ice pick feeling going right through the back of their eyeball, or a retroorbital pain is what we call it, just pain right in the back of the eyeball. And as that comes on, that can lead to nausea and even vomiting, sensitivity to light, sensitivity to smells, in some cases sensitivity to sound, but the light and the smells tend to be the big ones. And so when I talk to some of my clients, they say, yeah, you know, the only thing that works is I lock myself in a dark closet, or you blackout blinds in the bedroom, and you know, go to sleep and try to get your head just in the right spot on your pillow. And I've been there. So a couple years ago, I ran into a tree, and whenever I tell this story, people say, "What do you mean, like in a car?" And I know, like actually, I just sprinted right into a tree. We were playing football, and it's what my wife calls a manzaster. We walk onto the field and we say, okay, how are we going to know where the end zone is? Well, there's that giant tree there. If we get past the tree, we'll call that a score. And so anyway, I ended up not catching the ball, but I ran into the tree right as the ball hit my hands, and then my head hit the tree, and I had a big gash on the forehead, and I went in and got stitches. But my arm went numb, and my neck hurt, and my head hurt, and there was blood, and it was bad. I left my mark on the tree. Its friend fell down just a couple weeks ago in that snowstorm. It's still standing though. So after that though, knowing what I know, knowing what I have learned over the years, I was able to treat myself. I had a doctor friend of mine pull out the stitches when they were done. And then I set about treating my neck. I knew that I had stretched some ligaments and hurt my neck. What I wasn't prepared for was the cervicogenic headaches that came along with it. So cervicogenic, just like Genesis is the beginning of the Bible, the cervicogenic headaches are headaches that begin at the neck, so the cervical region, and then they come up. So they generate here and come into the head. And they're often mistaken for migraines. I know that there's a big distinction because they have the same symptoms. But I wasn't prepared for this. I went back to work right away, and these cervicogenic headaches came on, and it happened to be a sensitivity to the Scentsy candles that my coworker was storing in the clinic right by where I would type my notes at the end of the day. And those candles bothered my senses to the point, and it's probably also the typing and the position that I was in, to the point where I would get a cervicogenic headache. It would start, they call it an aura, and as that pain comes on, it just gets worse and worse until it turns into an incredible pain, and then like a cold ice pick feeling, and then headache. And nausea, and in some case vomiting. And so I'd get home as quick as I could, and then I was worthless at home with my wife and kids. I'd just pretty much have to go to bed. Now, I knew how to treat that. So over the course of a couple weeks, first of all, I identified that the smells, I had to ask my coworker to get rid of the candles. But searching for those triggering problems, I was able to treat my own neck. And it's similar to what I get in the clinic all the time with my patients. They'll get similar neck pain and headaches, and we're able to treat that and help it go away. But for you at home, if you're not wanting to come into the clinic, start looking for those triggers. For me, it took me a while to notice that the Scentsy candles were triggering. And one day I noticed I was doing fine throughout the day, and then they plugged one of those candles in, and I came in. It was within 5 or 10 minutes of being in the room with that, I noticed that was bringing it on. Now, I've been able to work through that to the point where, you know, this is damaged, it's permanently damaged, but I can keep that in the proper alignment where it doesn't bother me. And when I feel it coming on, I'm able to do treatments to myself that we can teach you to do to yourself as well that can make a big difference. And it's, again, because I've experienced this pain myself, I'm a little bit more empathetic to the pains that people have in this area. But what's incredible is I see people, people who've had pain for a lot of years that is similar to this type of pain, whether it's been a car accident or just they woke up with a pain one day, or concussion. Sometimes, who knows what brought it on for you, but if you're suffering from this, it's something that you don't have to continue to deal with. We can't treat everybody, we can't fix everything, but it's something that we have a high success rate with. And what's wonderful is when you see somebody go through that, just like me, those terrible headaches, and then not having them anymore is a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. I'll have people who actually break down in tears in the clinic because I'm like, whoa, what did I do? Hurt you? And they go, no, I'm just so happy. This is the first time I haven't had a headache in X amount of time. And so anyway, that's something that we can deal with. If there's any questions, we can take them while we're doing this live video. But if you're watching this after the live video is ended, you can go ahead and write questions in the comments. Or what I'd like you to do, if you've suffered from this, I understand if you're skeptical about what we can do to help you. What you should do is just come in and have us do a consultation where we can talk about your specific problems and whether that fits into the type of care that we're able to provide for you. In some cases, no, but we can steer you in the right direction to get help where you can get help with this. But in a lot of cases, it's something that we see on a routine basis. And while it's been affecting your life for however long, it's something that we see routinely that we can help people with. So don't suffer needlessly if that's the case. You want to get in and give this a whirl and see what we can do for you. Worst case scenario is you waste a half an hour, but best case scenario is you're living life again in the way that you want to. So I posted our number in the post, and you can give us a call if you'd like to have one of those consults. We opened up 5 consults this month so that we can help you out in any way that we can. So if you're not ready for that, stay tuned for the next 3 weeks, and we're going to continue to talk about this topic and what you can do at home to help yourself and to help if you have a family member with the same problem, then you can do that as well. So leave your questions in the comments, and we'll see you next week.